Eric Allen here with Nick Mangold and Bart Scott inside the studio. Zach Wilson, of course, be making his second consecutive start this week against the Patriots. There are a lot of plays that he can build off of. Bottom line is, you've been asking for more play action. Here the Jets succeed in a big way against the Cowboys with the play action.
On first down, Zach Wilson, play action, drops to throw, fires one over the middle, and it's caught. Breaking free, Garrett Wilson, left sideline to the 40, right down the middle of the field, now to the 30, 20, 10, 5, that's a Jet touchdown! Garrett Wilson strikes, and the Jets are on the board.
Right, and I saw a lot of maturity out of Zach, even though we got the loss. He made some plays that he wasn't making last year. And so we start off with this right here with the play action. We know that the Jets want to establish the run. And the defense knows that, Cowboys know that. So by showing play action, showing the run, it sucks these linebackers up and opens up the space in the middle here and allows, because it's single high safety, allows that space, the linebackers sucked up into the line, gives Garrett Wilson the space and Zach Wilson the space to get that ball in there, allow Garrett to do what he does best and make plays. So right there, 68-yard touchdown, you love to see it off of play action.
And kudos to Nathaniel Hackett for understanding that they were getting to some tendencies by running on first down every play. So now you understand cover one is what you were getting, so you got outside leverage, so it's easy release for the wide receivers. They got a cut split. And what this really is a version of the Speedo, the old greatest show on turf. We have crossing routes, and Zach Wilson has one read, the safety. Safety leaned towards Lazard. He knew that he had already had the crossing route because of the outside leverage, because of cover one, to be able to throw the ball to Garrett Wilson. And he made the proper read. He made it quick and decisive, and that's what you want to do when you have cover one.
So that's what you've been asking for, the Speedos, the crossing routes against man coverage, because what the Cowboys were doing were living in single high.
Yeah, single high, and they had a low rat player, then they had a post player, which all cover ones have. And that was a great illustration in being able to not make it as such of a long pass because you have the cut splits by both of the wide receivers.
All right, we saw more pocket presence from Zach against the Cowboys. Here is, if we're going to run this play, the Cowboys come up. He's not seeing anything, seeing anybody break open, but he is seeing a lot of green in front of him.
Zach Wilson in the shotgun, 1st and 10. Here comes another blitz. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to take it and run again. Stutter steps to the 40. Right sideline 30. Inside the 20. Slides down in the red zone.
Right, and so again, we're staring at a high safety, single high safety, man across the board. You have everyone locked up. No one's really open at this point. And Zach sees that, which then allows him to use his feet to make a play because he's got all this green grass ready to go. Because everyone has a receiver, there's nobody left for him. The spy gets taken out, his eyes deceive him, and now you have just plenty of acreage. And Zach goes and takes it. And we slides.
Yes, and as a defender, you got a problem with what the Cowboys are doing here because the spy really got lost with the traffic. Huh?
Well, that's bad eyes. That's trying to farm somebody else's land. You never should do that, farm your own land. But listen, this is the old amoeba type of defense. We started this in Baltimore. We did it a lot here also with the Jets, where you have everybody standing up, only two defenders down in a stance. And what this is supposed to do is supposed to make the offensive line have to identify what five are really coming, right? So they identify what five is really coming. And then once they do that, you only have a four-man rush. Whenever you have a four-man rush, you have two lanes that you can escape in, right? Because the tackles do a great job in being able to keep the outside defender.
All right, let's pause it right here. How difficult is that for you facing the amoeba package? Because you're responsible there as a center, be working with your young quarterback and identifying those protections.
Yeah, that goes back to film study, and you get a feel for who they're bringing, who they're not bringing. But what you see here, which is great by the offensive line and Zach in particular, is he has a certain drop point, and the offensive line knows where that is. The tackles know where that drop point is. They run their guys past that drop point. Zach does not back up. He steps forward in the pocket and allows him to use his vision to see that it's wide open, and he takes the lane that he's given.
I love what he just said about drop point, because in the past we may have seen Zach retreat, right? Yeah. And the other thing that we often hear about quarterbacks when the pressure starts coming on the edges is their eyes drop. Seemed like his eyes were a lot better in this game.
Yeah, and that shows some maturity because he used to retreat to try and circle the defense, and you can't do that because your tackles are blocking guys past your drop point, being able to climb in the pocket, keep two hands on the ball securely because you don't know where it's coming from. After all the movement, all it turned into was basically an over front, but they moved to it post-snap, and you don't know they're stunning to an over front. And he did a great job in just understanding that once I recognize cover one, I know that the defender's backs are turned. I may have one or two men to beat, and I suppose just go get positive yards.
Nick, let's look at a third play right now. Zach Wilson's awfully athletic, and again, he can use those feet to tuck it, but he also can use his feet to buy some more time and find an open receiver.
Block at 4. Takes the shotgun snap. 4-man rush under some pressure. Dodges a sack. Runs to his right. Throws one right sideline. Sliding catch is made out to the 39-yard line.
Right, and so again, we're looking at single high safety. We got man coverage. It's going to happen. And this is what Zach does. We talk about dropping his eyes and, keeping the vision downfield. He escapes out of this pocket, but he keeps his eyes downfield. And so as it runs here, and we see, at first it doesn't look like anything's open. He gets out of the pocket. His timer has gone off. Like, hey, something bad's going to happen. I need to move. But he keeps his eyes downfield. He's able to see his receiver work back towards him, which is good by the receiver to knowing that, hey, my quarterback's escaped the pocket. I need to get him some help. And he makes the throw. So not only he can do things with his legs, but he can still do things with his arm too.
Bart, very calm and decisive.
Yeah. Well, this is something that we've always known about Zach, that he's great in extending plays and throwing off platform. It's one of the best things he does because I think it takes all the thinking out for him and he just reacts. And we know that he has a strong arm. That's not an easy throw to throw on target, to somebody coming back across the field. It's a lot longer throw than it may look like on the stat
So
sheet.
what are the rules for the receivers when Zach does start taking steps outside and buying some more time?
Well, I don't know their rules, but traditionally, if you're play side, you come back. If you're away from the play, you get into the quarterback's vision. So you break your routes off and you flatten to him so that lately, you come into his vision, he can have an opportunity. If that, front side receiver isn't there, you're there. And also sometimes if you're going there and you get to the sideline, you turn up because you run out of space, so it becomes opportunity. One of the hardest things to do for defenders is to plaster when guys are going because you don't know the rules because it's not traditional routes. They're just finding open spots.
Nick, bottom line, something to build off of that first start against the Cowboys. What is he going to see now against the Patriots?
Definitely. I think it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a relentless pressure, and he's going to have to make sound decisions. And I think that's the biggest key coming from last year into this year. Knowing that, hey, we're not retreating, stepping up in the pocket and being smart with the ball. That's what we need.
Can't lose patience, right? Sometimes it's going to be ugly. Sometimes it's not going to work out in your favor. But what you want to do is when you have opportunities like the Garrett Wilson play is to be able to take advantage of the defense being aggressive or the defense making a mistake. So you can't make the mistake. You wait for the defense to make the mistake. And they're going to have a plan for cover one. And I think bunches and condensed routes where you can create confusion and make the defense have to communicate post-snap is really what you want to do against cover one.
Watch out for those Speedos Sunday from the New York Jets offensively. What's going to happen? We can't wait to watch Zach Wilson in start number 2.